I guess the software we've seen so far really makes your personal computer into sort of a fancy typewriter. But I understand that the way that you're working with software that really goes beyond that is sort of the next stage of analyzing the words and paragraphs that you've composed. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
That's correct. Our software is designed to take over where the writing process leaves off. Writing is inherently a creative process that you don't want to interrupt with concerns such as finding spelling errors and looking for redundant phrasing and so forth. So our software takes the files that you've created and runs through a series of punctuation, spelling, and stylistic checks and gives you recommendations where those problems can be fixed.
Could you run a demo for us of
Certainly.
WordPlus?
I have a simple file in here. What I'll do right now is to just have the spelling checker take over and run against the file. As it operates, it's going to scan the text and then bring up any spelling problems that it finds, which should take it about 15 seconds. Then it will allow me to interactively look at the spelling errors that I have and to summon up suggestions from the built-in dictionary for what the correct spelling should be. Then it will make those corrections automatically in the text. At this point, it's finished checking the file. I now have my first misspelled word there, which is although. If I ask the computer for assistance, or the program for assistance, it will bring up the correct spelling in the upper left. I can hit the correction key, bring the spelling down, and then proceed on to the document in that way. The idea is that you get simultaneous aid and correction so that it takes the tedium out of doing the spelling checking process.
How about punctuation and style? What does that do?
Well, the second step really would be doing writing style analysis, which I'll bring up next. That is, if you were to look at writing style books, you'd have a collection of problems that people typically fall into traps in phrasing. This program is designed to quickly scan the text for those problems. When it finds a problem in the text, it will bring it up and show it to me on the screen. I can then have the choice to mark the problem in the file so I can later go back and edit it. Here it's found utilization, which is sort of a fancy way of saying use. The program is recommending that you scale that down. If I continue on through, it'll find small in size, which is a redundant way of just simply saying small, and so forth. In that fashion, the program would proceed through the text and make different recommendations.
Wayne, do you enumerate all the possibilities that the program actually checks for? In other words, when you're doing a spelling check, do you have a dictionary of words, or are you actually looking for letter combinations that are unlikely? Or in a case like this,
in the spelling checking, we're using an actual dictionary that it compares against. In the phrase checking, we have a list of phrases that we've compiled from different phrase books and other sources that will, in fact, a large part of the work is based upon some of the original work that was done at AT&T for the Writer's Workbench. And for the punctuation checking, we have simply constructed a program that tries to reflect all the nuances of punctuation.
Wayne,